ප්‍රබෝධිකා මිස්ටර් රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් ජිනේන්ද්‍ර මිස්ටර් දෙන්න විදිහක් නැහැ මතායස් මිස්ටර් දෙත හැකි මතායස් මිස්ටර් රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන්
මට දෙන්න
වීඩියෝ
එපා මම ෂෙයා කරන්නම්.
හරි හරි එයාට බෑ ෆෝන් අයට වීඩියෝ රෙකෝඩින් දෙන්න බෑ
හරි හරි.
සර් කතා කරත හැකි
මේ මම දැන් මේ මගේ PowerPoint එකට ගන්න මම මේක දැන් යවන්නද පහලට?
සර් මුකුත් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මේ ජිනේන්ද්‍ර මිස් ෂෙයා කරා මිස් ජිනේන්ද්‍ර මිස් ෂෙයා කරන්නකෝ ජිනේන්ද්‍ර
ඕකේ.
මිස් ඔයා ෂෙයා කරන්නකෝ එතකොට සර්ටත් පෙන්නනවා හරි දැන් හරි
Okay. Today's topic, principles of curriculum development. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, you should be able to define curriculum, describe various types of curricula, describe approaches of curriculum development, discuss the diseases of curricula, state the Harden's 10 questions of curriculum development, discuss Spicer's model. These are the learning outcomes. At the end of the session, you should be able to define curriculum, describe various types of curricula, describe approaches of curriculum development, discuss the diseases of curricula, state the Harden's 10 questions of curriculum development, discuss Spicer's model. Okay. From these, we have developed 6 questions about curricula. What is a curriculum? What are the types of curricula? What are the approaches of curriculum development? What are the diseases of curricula? What are the Harden's 10 questions of curriculum development? What is Spicer's model? Okay. So, what is a curriculum? There are definitions. It's a practical definition. It is a written document which consists of everything in relation to an educational program. It's a written document which consists of everything in relation to an educational or training program. Here, පුහුණු අධ්‍යාපන වැඩසටහනක් පිළිබඳ සියලු කරුණු අඩංගු ලිඛිත සටහන. And there's another big definition given by Professor Ronald Harden. A sophisticated blend of educational strategies, course content, learning outcomes, educational experiences, assessment, the educational environment, the individual student's learning style, personal timetable, and program of work. You don't have to remember this. It is given by Professor Harden. But first one is important. It is a written document. Curriculum is a written document which consists of everything in relation to an educational or training program. Any questions about that? It is clear, isn't
no
it?
sir
It is
yes
clear.
clear sir
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yes clear sir clear
Okay. Next one. Now, types of curricula. Written curriculum, taught curriculum, learned curriculum, assessed curriculum, null curriculum, formal curriculum, informal curriculum, non-formal curriculum, hidden curriculum. No, you don't have to remember all these things, meanings, but first of all, you should get an idea. First one is written curriculum. It is the planned curriculum which is available. No, written curriculum is the planned curriculum. It is in the written form, which is available. කියන්නේ ඔයගලන් ළඟ තියෙන curriculum එක. ලිඛිතව තියෙන නැත්නම් type කරලා ඒ මුද්‍රිතව ලැබෙන curriculum එක plan කරලා තියෙන curriculum. Then second one, taught curriculum. Taught curriculum is what you teach. What teachers teach. උගන්වන ලද curriculum. උගන්වන ලද විෂය මාලාව. You got to learn curriculum. Next one. Learn curriculum means what students learn in the program. ශිෂ්‍යයන් ඉගෙනගත් විෂය මාලා කොටස. Fourth one is assessed curriculum. It is what is being assessed at the end of the program. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමද තක්සේරු කරන නැත්නම් ඇගයීමට ලක්වන විෂය මාලා කොටස. What can you say about all these four types of curriculum? What should be like? What should be the feature about written, taught, learnt and assessed curriculum? කොයි වගේ වෙන්න ඕනද?
All should be same.
Yeah. It won't be same, but if it is same, it is very good. Yeah, very good answer. Now, you should try to make all these four types of curricula the same. At least 90%. What you should do to make all four the same? Written curriculum should be available to the relevant lecturers or teachers and students. Lecturers should teach from the curriculum. At least the relevant part of the curriculum should be available to the teachers. Teachers should teach from the written curriculum. Then learned curriculum is what students learn. Then students will learn from what is being taught. When you are assessing, you should assess what students have learned, what you have taught them. So what will be happen to the passing rate? What should be happen to the passing rate? It should be 100%.
100%.
It won't be happen like that, but I earlier also told you, when you are training people who are already in service train, already in the service, actually our target is to train them to pass the exam. Okay, other things, null curriculum, formal, informal, non-formal, hidden, you have nice to know, but not essential to know, but you can find out, you read about them and let us discuss later, next week or next lesson. Next one. Okay, next one. I can't see the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, sir. මම disconnect වුණා. හරි sir දැන් ආයෙ ගන්න.
Okay, next one. Then about approaches of curriculum development. There are many approaches. Approach means pravesha. Vishayamala, Sanvardhane, pravesha. There are many approaches. Out of these, 3 important approaches I have mentioned here. One is engineering approach. Engineering pravesha. Another one, railway timetable approach. Timetable approach. Another one, cookbook approach. Cookbook approach. Cookbook. And Vattor, Vahara Vattor, Pravesha. There are many others, but these 3 you should know. What about these approaches? What about the approaches that you have known earlier? What is timetable approach? Timetable approach क्या होगा? This is very common in health ministry programs. They ask you to do a program, 1 day in service training program. Then what you do, you develop, prepare a timetable, and there are time slots, and you fill those slots. You are not thinking about the outcomes. You are not concerned about the content. You are just thinking about filling the gaps. Is it good or bad? Make a timetable approach. If you are not concerned about outcomes, is it good? It is not good, isn't it?
Bad, sir. Yes, sir.
Then you have to consider about outcomes and content. The engineering approach, they are only concerned about outcomes, not concerned about time, not concerned about other resources, content. Just they develop a big curriculum with several these outcomes, but you can't fulfill those outcomes during the allocated time. So all engineering approach is not that good. Cookbook approaches, you are thinking about only about the content, lot of content in the limited time. You can't cover. So if you are only thinking about content, it is not that good. So what can you say about these approaches? Pravesha. What is good? What is good? Can you answer?
You should
Can you
have a
answer?
blend of all these 3, sir.
Yeah. Combination of all 3. You have to think about the outcomes. You have to think about the time period. You have to consider about the content also. You got an idea. So there are approaches of curriculum development pravesha. They are engineering approach, railway timetable approach, cookbook approach. They can ask you to write a short note on cookbook approach in your exam. they can ask you to write a short note on timetable approach or engineering approach. Then in NCERT
Sir, please
instruction, we
explain
can give-
about cookbook approach, sir.
it is you are only concerned about the content. විෂය හරය කොච්චර දානවද මේ උගන්වන්න ඒ දැන් ඔයගලන්ට one day training program එක නම් මහා ගොඩක් content දාන්න. එතකොට ලොකු වට්ටෝරුවක් තියෙනවා මේකේ. හැබැයි කරන්න බෑ. එකක් තමයි කාලය මදි. Time is not enough. The other thing, sometimes there are no resources, human resources to cover those. So combination of all three is important. Can you understand? Engineering approach, more concerned about the outcomes of the program. Railway timetable approach, concerned about the time, filling the time slots. Cookbook approach, to concern more about the content. Combination of all three is the best approach. Next one. Then diseases of curricula. Have you heard? You know about diseases, isn't it? There are many diseases of curricula. විෂයමාලාවල තියෙන රෝග තත්ත්ව. One is curricular sclerosis. Have you heard sclerosis? Where you heard about sclerosis? Atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis?
Deposit the cholesterol.
It is
Fat.
deposition
Deposit
deposition of fat or cholesterol in the lumens, these walls of the blood vessels, results in atherosclerosis. It is the atherosclerosis. What will happen? It results in narrowing of the lumen of blood vessels. If you get atherosclerosis in these blood vessels, coronary blood vessels supplying the wall of the heart, what will happen? You can get
Ischemia.
ischemia, and you can get myocardial infarction. If it happens in the blood vessels going to the brain, what can happen?
cerebrovascular accident.
Strokes. Because you can get
CVA.
you can get blocking of blood
Brain
vessels.
brain infarction.
Infarcts in the brain. CVAs. So it is the same. If you are not changing your or revising your curriculum at least every 4 years, what will happen? You are teaching or training the people, your students, all stuff, not updated. So your students won't be able to fulfill their tasks, present tasks. So you have to think about it when you have to develop these curricula when you are doing these in-service training programs at MOH. So you have to think about, don't repeat the same training program again and again. You have to think about revising the training programs. Got the point? Otherwise, what will happen? Your training programs, curriculum, විෂයමාලාව මොකද වෙන්නේ? sclerosis වෙනවා. ඒතර ඕගොල්ලන් ට්‍රේන් කරන්නේ ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ ට්‍රේනිස්ලා මේ වර්තමාන කාලයට ගැලපෙන්නේ නැති අය. පැහැදිලිද? It is happening in health ministry is training programs. Sometimes we can see some training programs they haven't revised their curricula for more than 15 years. Is it good? It is not good, isn't it? Then what about curricular carcinoma? You know carcinoma? In carcinoma what happens?
Yeah.
Cancer එකේදී මොකද වෙන්නේ?
Harm to another systems also.
Identify on time, it is spreading.
What happens?
Mutation of the cells.
Yeah, division of cells, one group of cells, overgrowth of
Spread to
one,
another systems.
yeah, one overgrowth of one type of tissues or cells, resulting in lack of oxygen and
Spreading to another
nutrients
all
to other
systems.
tissues. So
Systems.
those systems and tissues will die. It is the same in curriculum. Now, in the departments also it happens. Now, if you are from one department and if you are giving all the attention and resources to that department, what will happen? Others will not get enough resources and others will not be happy, not be satisfied. And your curriculum also or departments will there will be imbalance. So your training programs you have to think about all the sections. If you are a manager, training manager, you have to think about all the sections regarding your training program, and you have to give weight according to the importance, and you have to think about balancing. මේ කියන එක පැහැදිලිද? මේක පැහැදිලි නෑ නේද? දැන් උදාහරණ කියනවා නම්
නෑ sir.
දැන් උදාහරණ කියනවා නම් ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන MOH වල දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ MOH වල වැඩ කරලා නැහැ තාම. මේ EHI ලා එහෙම මොකද කියන්නේ? වැඩියෙන් කන්සර්න් වෙන්නේ මොනකටද? MOH එක. ඉස්සර මේ කාලේ නේ ඉස්සර නම් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් වැඩියෙන් කන්සර්න් වෙන්නේ yeah,
MCH.
maternal and child health. So MOH will give all the resources to the EHNS. So others
Yes. Right.
will embarrass and they are not getting the proper attention. Others means food hygiene, then infection control. So if you are the MOH, you have to think about balance. It is the same. Now, as a training manager, if you are very fond of one subject, so in the training programs, you are going to introduce more time to that subject, but you are not balanced. So you have to think about balance, and you have to think about giving resources to all the components of your training program. Got the point? So what is the importance of knowing, aware of these curricular diseases, curricular sclerosis and curricular carcinoma? When you are acting as a training manager, you have to think about revising. You have to ask from yourself, am I teaching these students or trainees all stuff? Am I updating my training program, my curriculum? Second one, about carcinoma, am I giving more attention to one particular section or subject. Is it imbalance? You have to think about this and consider about this, and you have to make remedial actions. The diseases of curriculum. About this also we can ask, write a short note on curricular sclerosis, or write a short note on curricular carcinoma. MCQs also we can ask you questions from these diseases of curriculum. Got the point? Understood? Curricular sclerosis, curricular carcinoma. Prashna Tirana. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one.
Sir,
A
can you
short note එක
please
What?
explain, sir?
සර් තව අපිට විනාඩි 10යි තියෙන්නේ. ආයෙ එහෙම වුණොත් කට් වුණාම ලොග් වෙමු සර් නේද?
පුළුවන් ද ඔයගලන්ට ඉන්න නැත්තම් වෙන දවස්.
පුළුවන් සර් අපි ආයෙ join කරමු.
පුළුවන් sir.
Okay. Next one. This is Harden's 10 questions of curriculum development. This is important. You have to develop a curriculum according to these 10 questions. So for the curriculum development, you can use Harden's 10 questions of curriculum development. Then you can evaluate the curricula using these Harden 10 questions of curriculum development. It's very simple. You don't have to remember, but you should know these things and you can apply this when you are developing a curriculum. First question is, what are the needs of the community? So, what are the needs? අවශ්‍යතාවය. දැන් මේ ඔයගලන් කරිකියුලම් එකක් හදනකොට ඒ කරිකියුලම් මේ ට්‍රේනින් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේ අවශ්‍යතාවය ඔයගලන් හිතන්න ඕනේ. අවශ්‍ය නැත්නම් එහෙම ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් කරලා ඇති වැඩක් නැහැ. එතකොට ඒ සඳහා කුමක්ද කළ යුත්තේ? ඔයගලන් need assessment එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ. හරි විදිහට. දැන් ඔයගලන් ට්‍රේනින් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් කරනවා නම් volunteers ලාට හරි BHM ලාට හරි ඔයගලන්ගේ MOH office එකේ ඕගලන් හර මුලින්ම හිතන්න ඕනේ මේක need එකක් තියනවාද මේ program එකේ. need එක බලන්න ඕනේ. need එක බලන්න තමයි need assessment කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඔයගලන්ගේ portfolio එකේ assignment එකේ මම දැක්ක දීලා තියෙනවා need assessment එකක් කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා ලියන්න. That is important. So need assessment කරන්න එක එක විදිහට තියෙනවා. What are the methods you know?
Available data.
Yeah, that is available data. How you are going to get available data?
From journals and health bulletin,
In the office?
research.
PHM
Office. Now there are many
The
registers.
registers from
Record
static
registers
find
and
out.
returns.
Another
record.
another one.
Rec-
You can
Records,
you can
registers and returns.
yeah
PHM record, we can use
yeah
MIS
that is documentary analysis. You have existing records, previous records, and you can those are the documents. You can analyze those documents and find out the need. That is one way. It is very important. There are many registers, so you can go through them and you can analyze. That is documentary analysis. Another one is you can prepare a question. So then you can give this questionnaire to the relevant parties. And it is a research lab. then you can analyze those things and find out the need. Another way is having discussions, group discussions with relevant parties, and you have to analyze those discussions. You can have interviews, formal interviews with relevant parties. You have to record those things and analyze them. Even informal interviews you can have, and you can get data from them also. So what are the main methods of need assessment? Finding needs of the community regarding these training programs.
Okay.
First
Yes,
one,
ma'am.
documentary analysis. Second one, survey. Third one, discussions, focus group discussions. Fourth one, interviews. In-depth
Formal
interviews. Or
Formal interviews.
informal, that is formal interview, in-depth interviews, or informal interviews even. You can get some idea, isn't it? So you have to think about this, and you have to further
Yes, sir.
study about doing this need assessment. Then what are the outcomes? Now you find out there's a need, and you find out the need, and then you develop the outcomes to fulfill those needs. You find out the gap, it is the need, and you develop your outcomes according to the needs to fulfill those needs. So your outcomes of a training program should tally the needs. අවශ්‍යතා සපුරා ගන්න තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ training program එකේ objectives or outcomes හදන්න ඕනේ. පැහැදිලිද? need එකට අදාළ නැති ඒවා outcomes දැම්මොත් එහෙම තේරුමක්. Then it is very easy. What is the content? So your content should tally the outcomes. විෂය හරය දාන්න ඕනේ ඔයාගේ training program එකේ outcome වලට හරියට. Then fourth question is how the content is arranged. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ content එක කොහොමද ඔයගොල්ලෝ arrange කරන්නේ? It should not be haphazard. What should be the arrangement of a content in a training program?
Prioritize the problems.
One.
According to prioritize problems.
Yeah, that is the content. No? What about content? Content arrangement should be simple to complex. ඔහොම සරල ඒවායින් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ training program එකේ lectures පටන් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ introductory lectures. ඊට පස්සේ අවසාන වෙනකොට තමයි මේ the management ඒ වගේ දේවල් complications ගැන ඒවා ගැන කියන්න ඕනේ. පැහැදිලිද? මොකද මේ arrangement එක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි දකිනවා MOH එකේ කරන training programs වලදී වෙනස් කරනවා. මොකද consultant සමහර වෙලාවට කියනවා මේ මට අවශ්‍ය lecture එකට එන්න බෑ. ඒ නිසා මුලින් පළවෙනි lecture එක දෙන්න. එහෙම වුණාම මොකද? ඒතර එයා තමයි management ගැන එහෙම උගන්වන්න එන්න හිටියේ. එයා එතකොට මේ මූලික දේවල් උගන්වන්න කලින් අර ලොකු management වගේක් උගන්වලා යනවා. එතකොට ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Can you understand what I am telling? So you have to think about your content. There should be a flow. Simple to complex. සරල ඒවා ඉඳලා සංකීර්ණ අමාරු ඒවාට යන්න ඕනේ. මුලින් සරල ඒවායින් පටන් ගන්න. So you got the meaning of this fourth question. How the content is arranged.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
fifth question is what are the teaching learning strategies? What are the teaching learning strategies? So strategy කියන්නේ methods කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ පටලව ගන්නවා strategy එකක් කියන්නේ ක්‍රමෝපාය. ඒක broad. Training program